Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th week of the Stardew Valley Trials.
Yeah.
The finale is next week, but one of you won't be joining us.
Week 7 and I'm still here. I was kind of expecting this alliance thing to blow up like after the BRAINIACS week, but you know, I'm still here and I'm rocking it. Despite me and Therm being the only pair left in the trials, I am like really nervous going into this next week. No matter how you slice it, I am probably gonna have to fight for my life in the elimination challenge this week. No more votes to rig, no more alliances to hide behind. This is the do or die week for Seanie. But you really think that I'd go down without a fight? Impossible! I'll rise above the odds just like I do each and every single week, pitting Haboo and Leap against each other once again.
I didn't sleep last night. Not just because of the double elimination or the friends I had to say goodbye to last week, but also because I'm paranoid. Not paranoid of Haboo or Leapalot, though. I hate to say it, but I'm paranoid of Seanie. And I know we've been buddies the whole way through, and he's always telling me, we can do this together, Therm. It's you and me, all the way to the top. But how do I know he didn't say that to King? Or what if he said that to Matt? In fact, didn't he say that to literally almost everybody in this competition? It's always been us two from the start. We're stronger together, and we're gonna stick together all the way to the final two. But his tangled, misshapen web of alliances is starting to concern me. If he's so ready to sever a friendship to win this competition, who says I'm not next on his hit list? It's just, I have a bad habit of putting too much trust in people. And this time, if I get burned again, it's in front of thousands of viewers. So I'm scared. Please prove me wrong, Seanie. I'm counting on you.
And now we're down to 4 of us. To be quite honest, I didn't really expect to make it this far. If I just made one mistake, it was kind of just over for me. I had the target on my back since week 1 and had so many trials that I had to overcome. But today, it's not about those hardships. It's about karma. Seanie has been running this entire show behind the scenes for a while now, with all these fake alliances or whatnot. But in reality, his only true alliance is with Therm. And with the elimination of Brandigan, I finally got some more insight to what was going on. When Therm won the last round and put Brandigan into the elimination, it wasn't some 3-way draw between the 3 of them. No. It was a coin flip. A coin flip about whether it was Brandigan or Leap. Seanie wasn't even in the picture. This coin flip probably showed a pretty obvious red flag to Leap, saying, yeah, if you don't win next round, you're getting voted. So what happened? A deal was made. I'm not gonna say that we're an alliance at all, but if certain criteria is met, we have a plan going forward.
It's week 7 and I am straight up not having a good time. My boy, my absolute ally, is gone. There was seriously only one person I wanted to take all the way to the end. No matter who won, we would have both been kings sitting on that final throne. Now it's all different though. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see the lines in the sand. Seanie and Therm will want me and Haboo to face each other. Either Hab or I will go home, leaving the final a 2-1. Those two are too close. There's no way I can break them up, which means I need to send one of them home. I'm gonna have to be sneaky and skilled, and some feelings might get hurt today. My tummy hurts. I'm not here to be a stepping stone for anyone else. It's time for the most important week of trials for old Leap. Let's see what happens.
The prize pool for the Stardew Valley Trials will be crowdfunded. If you'd like to contribute, check out the information in the description below. I'm also really excited to let you guys know that we're going to be selling Stardew Valley Trials t-shirts, but more information about that after the end credits. You've all fought very hard to be here, and it's time to find out who's going to be our final 3. Also, since we're down to so few players now, the person who comes in last place in this challenge will not be receiving an extra vote. The only thing that matters is whether or not you win the mask. To make it this far in the trials, you need to not just be good at Stardew, but also smart. Today's challenge tests that exactly. Today, you'll be playing BRAINIACS. You will each take turns answering trivia questions related to Stardew Valley. The questions have a predetermined order, but you guys have chosen the initial order that you will go in. Everyone has 1 bonus life, so if you get 2 questions wrong, you will be eliminated. The last person standing will be the winner of the golden mask. Good luck.
A trivia challenge? I knew that little rat Z was gonna recycle his Kahoot. I knew it, but I didn't trust in myself. Me and Therm were literally saying this to each other last night. This is really bad for me. I am famously super forgetful, and I am not detail-oriented at all. Let's just hope that Z is intimidated by my raw intelligence and only gives me easy questions. Do you think there'll be any questions about manipulating my friends? Because, I think I'd be pretty good at that. I am so nervous for this quiz. The snake is sweating. Do snakes sweat? That sounds gross.
I feel pretty good knowledge-wise. Obviously, everyone left in this competition has a ridiculous amount of hours in this game, but I'm still pretty confident in myself. On the other hand, most of the like super late game stuff and speedrunning strategies and that whole jazz are super alien to me, so I guess we'll see.
The challenge this week is trivia, huh? I consider myself pretty knowledgeable about Stardew Valley. In fact, I would consider myself more knowledgeable than technically skilled. If ever there was a time for trivia, this is it. Just by the nature of the videos I make, I have a decent knowledge of the NPCs. I doubt we'll have many questions about them though, to be honest. I don't know numbers well, like how many walnuts can you get from monsters or whatever. Or mechanics, I guess. I'm decent at early to mid-game content, and I've played through to perfection a couple of times. If I can win here, I can really even out the playing field.
Stardew Valley trivia is something a lot of people think I'm very good at, mainly due to the fact that I've won and placed very well in a lot of Z's Kahoots, but I mainly just know a very specific part of the game, and I know it very well. Stardew is a very broad game, and knowing all the little smaller details and small events just isn't me. I don't know everything about this game. There's a lot of cutscenes in the game that I've just never seen before, so I just have no idea what they are. I still think I have a decent chance at winning this one. I'm definitely just not going to steamroll over these guys. They do know Stardew. They have just as many hours as I do in the game, and they know it through and through, just like me. We may have different areas of expertise, but I'm sure Z is going to make it pretty general.
Question number 1. Please stay in your seat.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
sorry.
forgot where I was.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
How many rare crows are there?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I know this one. I'm pretty sure it's 8. But let me just say that he said that this would be like a warm-up round that's supposed to be free. If this is what's supposed to be free, I'm in trouble. I would have expected the free one to be like, what kind of crop do you start with? Or whatever. So I might be in hot water here.
Let's. I need to. Okay. I think there are 8.
That is correct.
Okay.
Shawnee,
Yeah.
what day is Pierre's closed?
Wednesday.
Correct.
Yeah. Nice.
Ooh, okay. This first question's a gimme. I have forgotten about Pierre being closed on Wednesday too many times to forget it right now.
Leapalot, name a mineral.
Name a mineral, huh? When I tell you I am not fit for the stage, this is what I mean. Z said name a mineral. My mind raced, my heart stopped, my entire life flashed before my eyes. I was a baby looking up at my mom with love in my eyes. I was a toddler running around the house and screaming about my crayons. I was a young man driving in the night without a goal in mind. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is an easy question. Like, tiger's eye?
Correct.
Okay. That was easy, but being put on the spot like that completely wiped all Stardew knowledge from my brain. I'm a little concerned about the next few questions.
HabooO, what time does Pierre's open?
9 a.m.
Correct.
Okay.
The first round, Z gave us some really easy general questions. He really just wanted to make sure we knew what was going on at this point. When he asked me what time does Pierre's shops open up, I think the only shop in the game that doesn't open up at 9 a.m. is the Adventurers Guild at 2 p.m. But yeah, it's Pierre's at 9 a.m. I don't know what else to say. The harder ones next round, please.
All right, Therm, back up front.
Pokey poke.
How much does a return scepter cost?
I'm also pretty sure about this one, and I know it because I hate walking around. It's annoying, so buying that thing is always a top priority. The second I get 2 million gold, I'm going straight for the return scepter. So I'm almost positive this is 2 million.
2 million gold.
Correct.
I would have got that one wrong. Oh my god. I am so glad that Therm got that return scepter question because I just kept thinking 1 million in my head the whole time. It's got to be 1 million. This does not bode well for me.
Shawnee.
Yezzy.
Who is the only villager that doesn't love rabbit's feet?
Easy. What an easy question. Are these even supposed to be hard? Penny.
Correct.
He watches my perfection run.
That actually is how I know it. Not even joking. That is 100% how I know that.
Twitch.tv/TheHaboo.
Yeah, of course that's correct. Thank you very much. The snake rides again. I'm a master quizicist.
Leap. What is the exact name of that statue?
Okay, real talk for a second. Therm gets how much does the return scepter cost? Shawnee gets who doesn't like rabbit's feet? And I get name the statue that you can only get by putting a super cucumber into the box behind Clint's shop. Fine, I don't care. You want to know why? Because I know this one. It's like $HMTGF ? And honestly, I actually don't know how many question marks there are. It's 1, 2, or 3. But if I lose a life for that, I am going to riot.
Is it just me, guys, or was my question, like, way easier than everyone else's? Who knows what this freaking robot thing is called? Or something like that, right?
This one is $HMTGF ?
Correct.
Okay, no riot necessary. Everyone put down your pitchforks. We're good. Take a deep breath, but don't get overexcited. It's just getting started, and it's only going to get worse, I'm sure.
If you choose remixed bundles, what is the name of the bundle that might replace the construction bundle?
It's the sticky bundle, I believe. It's the sap one.
It is the sap one. Congratulations.
All right, another one down. I really hope I get more questions like that because if they start getting a little bit more rough and about NPCs, I might start dropping them soon.
If you combine a piece of bread, oil, and tomato, what recipe does that make?
Okay, so we're heating up a little bit. The recipes is one of the few things that I would say I'm pretty knowledgeable about in Stardew. I feel like the main trick that Z was trying to get with this question is to make you think that it's going to be pizza since there's bread and there's tomato involved, but the oil is the dead giveaway and the fact that there's no cheese. Plus, I worked at an Italian restaurant for minimum wage, idiots, so I know my stuff.
Bruschetta?
That is correct.
How did you know
Bye.
that?
Bye. I worked at an Italian restaurant for minimum wage, idiots.
Okay, how in the hell did Therm know that? I didn't even know that there was bruschetta in this game. Who knows about the cooking recipes?
Shawnee,
Yeah.
what cooking recipe requires a piece of bread, cranberries, and a hazelnut?
My knowledge of cooking recipes is literally zero. I can tell you that 2 coffees make a triple shot espresso, and that's about it. Who cooks in this game? Who is doing the cooking ever? I have no clue. I start thinking about the ingredients, and as I get to cranberries, for some reason, I just can't remember what they are. I actually cannot remember what cranberries are right now. I feel like an idiot. What are cranberries? Okay, I know that hazelnuts are available in fall, so I'll just say the only fall dish I know. Autumn's Bounty?
That is incorrect. It is stuffing. Shawnee, that is your first strike.
How was I supposed to even know that? Stuffing? You're kidding me. Stuffing. Oh yeah, let me go to my kitchen and cook some stuffing. Yeah, everybody cooks stuffing in Stardew Valley. Yes, stuffing. I didn't even know there's stuffing in this game. Great, thanks guys. Stuffing. How was I supposed to know that? I hate this game.
Oh, Shawnee, come on, man. You gotta, we can't be dropping those. I don't want to seem like a cocky little butthole, but like these questions are gonna get so hard, and taking a strike on that one, it does not look good for you, Shawnee. You might be in trouble, my friend.
That's an F for Shawnee. I would like to say that I would have gotten that one, but honestly, I would have been as stumped as him. That said, it's good to see him miss one early.
Leapalot. What recipe requires coconut, pineapple, and hot pepper?
I don't know the Ginger Island recipes well, but I know there's a pina colada, pudding, some kind of soup, and curry. It's definitely not the soup that has taro, and it's definitely not the pudding that has banana. Pretty sure that the curry has mango in it though, so I'm kind of confused. I have no idea why a pina colada would ever have a pepper in it, but that's the only thing I can think of. I'm gonna have to go for it. Is it a pina colada?
That is also incorrect. It is the tropical curry. That is your first strike.
Of course, there's no peppers in the pina colada. You just buy it. You don't even cook those. And it wasn't that there's mango in the curry. It's that there's a whole extra mango recipe. That's one life down. Not good. I knew recipes were going to be an issue. I just don't make them enough to have them memorized.
Haboo, which recipe requires cave carrot, sugar, and milk?
Oh, what is it called? Minor Street.
That is correct.
Honestly, depending on the food item I got, I could have been screwed here like Seanie, and I still don't know how Therm got his. But there's only so many recipes that need sugar, and most of them are candies or sweets, but the cave carrots really gave it away for me.
Oh, okay, so Boo gets the obvious one. That's the obvious minor street. I'm sitting here with stuffing. Stuffing.
Therm, what is the first movie to be played if you complete the movie theater in spring?
Uh-oh. So I've been in the movie theater once, which means I have only seen one movie, but I think it was in springtime. I'm really just relying on Lady Luck here. I do remember that the only movie I ever saw was The Brave Little Sapling, and I'm sure there are tons of others, so I might look like an idiot by guessing this, but it's my best shot. Why not?
The Brave Little Sapling.
You're a brave little boy. That is correct.
You better believe I'm a brave little boy.
What?
That is incredibly fortunate. Oh my God. I should absolutely have one strike right now. I'll take it. Obviously I'll take it. I'm still at 2 lives. I'm feeling good. I'm kind of getting on a roll here. Still have a perfect record so far.
That's my boy out there. There's my brave little sapling. Let's go. Thermy do for life.
Seanie, how many warp totems are there?
I know it, but I'm nervous about saying it incorrectly. Warp totems, right?
Yes.
Warp totems, okay. This is an easy one too. Okay, this one should be easy. It's just the number of obelisks plus the farm warp totem. I remember placing the obelisks on my perfection farm, and for some reason they weren't being able to be placed in an even square? Is there another obelisk?
Okay, I don't want to be that guy, but it took Seanie a minute last time. This time it was 3 minutes. 3 minutes, Seanie?
I believe that there is 5.
That is correct.
Oh my god, that was a close one. Oh my god. I feel like I can't even think straight right now. That was such an easy question. My nerves are at an all-time high. Holy crow. Thankfully, I live on to see another day.
All right, Leap. How many farm types are there?
How many farm types are there? Okay, this one is easy. I just did a video on these like a minute ago. There's standard, riverland, forest, hilltop, wilderness, four corners, beach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good to go. There are 6 types of farms. 6.
That is incorrect. There are 7 types of farms.
Oh, that sucks. I'm actually really sad because he knew it too. Leapalot, you don't deserve that, dude. That's just a bummer. Counting is really hard, and that's not me being condescending. I really don't know how to count either.
Goodbye, Leap. See ya. Lost on an easy gimme. Looks like your Stardew knowledge is trash, just like your stupid outfit. Goodbye, Leapalot.
Unfortunately, Leap, you are out. That is your second strike.
Honestly, it was either win or be in the elimination anyway, so this doesn't change much. All I'm waiting for now is to find out who I play. Also, man, that's really embarrassing.
Leap going out here early puts me in a really great position. Unfortunately, he is kind of my ally or like just my partner right now, just so we can take down Therm and Seanie. But the only way that I can really avoid being put into the elim if I lose this is if Leap loses as well. So him being out early just gives me a very good position for the remainder of the match.
Name 3 enchantments from the Forge.
Any 3?
Any 3.
Artful, Crusader, and Vampiric.
Correct. Therm, name 2 hats that you cannot get from the Hat Mouse.
The trash hat and the question mark concerned ape hat.
Correct.
All right, still no strikes. I'm keeping stride with Haboo. Seanie is on 1 strike, but he is still going. So good job there.
Sean, name 5 of the 6 people that you can call using the phone.
Okay, I just used the phone for a stream the other day to call Gus, so I should know this. You can only call the shopkeepers in Stardew Valley. Gus, Pierre, Clint, Robin, and is there another one? Willie and the Adventurers Guild count? Can you call Sandy? Does Sandy have a phone? Ugh! Why do I feel like I'm forgetting someone? Why am I so nervous? Can you call the movie theater? Does the traveling cart pig have a phone? Maybe you call Lewis to finalize your divorce? No, it's gotta be a shop. It's gotta be. It's either gotta be Willie, Sandy, or Marlin. Those are the only 3 shops. It's gotta be one of them. I feel like Willie probably has the most normal shop of those 3. I'm just gonna go with Willie. I think the 6 people are Robin, Pierre, Gus, Clint, Sandy, Willie, but let me just think about it a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna go with Robin, Pierre, Gus, Clint, Willie.
That is incorrect.
Oh my god! Damn it.
The 6 people you can call are Robin, Clint, Pierre, Gus, Marnie, and Marlin.
God damn it. Oh, I knew that. Come on. I never buy the animal, so I always just forget about her. Are you kidding me? That was so easy, and I threw it.
Oh, that was really hard to watch. He did really sound so upset with himself, and I do feel really bad. I'm sad. I can't help but be really sad that Sean is out. I'm scared. What if he's manipulating me? But at the same time, does it matter if I'm being manipulated as long as I'm happy? That is the worst thing I've ever said. Oh my god, that is such a bad sentiment. Cut that out. Actually, no, leave it in. I said it. I need to own up to it. Leave that in.
Realistically, this just means I'm more likely to face Shawnee than Therm. I don't know if that's good or bad. Shawnee's been in an elimination before. He's felt that pressure really recently.
And dang, it's already down to me and Therm. Winning this secures my spot, so I still want to win, but I'm not too scared if Therm actually beats me here. And I've also been pretty surprised that Therm has been answering some pretty difficult questions so far, so it's actually pretty cool.
How much does it cost to wipe the memory of a divorced spouse?
There's no way CA would make it expensive. So CA likes to work in weird numbers. So it's either like a 15 cheap, it's 25k for a divorce. Wiping the memory is probably more expensive because CA hates it. So what's a weird number above 25? It might be 45? That seems really expensive. Oh no, wait, isn't divorcing 50k? God, I don't deal with NPCs.
Nor do I, my friend.
All right, I'm gonna write a bunch of random numbers down.
All right.
15, 30, 45, 60. He likes to work in 15s. A 20, a 40, and then a 60, because he also likes to work in 20s.
What, are you gonna like roll a dice?
Yeah, I am.
That's hype.
So I'm gonna flip a coin. If it's heads, it's 15. If it's tails, it's 20. It landed heads. So okay, so it's either 15, 30, 45, or 60.
Oh my god, HabooB, just answer something already. What is all this backwards logic that you're doing? Just answer the freaking question. Oh my god, we don't have all day. What are you, this is not going to help you at all.
All right, I'm gonna do it in that order. Therm, pick a random number.
2.
All right. So you picked me 30, all right?
Okay.
So it's 30k.
You son of a bitch. It's 30k.
Oh my god.
HabooB, that is correct. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I got lucky on this one.
Okay, you know what, HabooB? I can absolutely respect you for being better than me at this game, being better than anyone in this competition at this game. Skill-wise, yeah, you're a great player, and so when you win challenges with your skill, I'm like, wow, great job, HabooB, you earned it. That was stupid. And of course, he had to ask me for a number, so now it seems like I'm the one who, like, is contributing to my own undoing. But God, how can he, like, first Calico Jack and then this? Like, how can one man be so lucky? It's ridiculous.
I have no idea how HabooB's brain works. He just, like, throws ideas into the void, and somehow the right ones just magically boomerang back to him and stick. It's like he's been blessed by some strange Stardew Valley deity. I think there's statistically significant evidence here that Yoba has chosen HabooB to proceed to the finals.
He actually got it. That actually worked. I am going to wipe that little baby off the face of this farm if it's the last thing I do.
And we're still tied. Neither of us have a strike. It is a bummer that I missed out on a chance to have a lead on HabooB, but I'm still happy to be tied with him. We're both still strikeless.
Therm, what is the skill title that you get if you have level 10 everything.
Okay, I am about to not be strikeless. This one's definitely gonna be a strike because I know what he's referencing. Like, I know those little skill titles exist. I literally couldn't name a single one of them except maybe Bumpkin because I think it's funny sounding.
Damn, the only one I know is Bumpkin because it's funny. Okay, let's see. What could it be? I definitely don't know, so I'm just gonna try and make an educated guess here. It could be Master. It could be, but that seems too easy. I'm not sure, so I'll just, you know what? I'll just go with Master.
That is incorrect. The title is Farmer.
Oh, probably could have guessed that.
And I didn't get it right. That's okay. I'd be frustrated if I like half knew it or totally knew it and got it wrong. I just didn't know it. I mean, that's okay. Sometimes you don't know things.
It's Farmer. It's supposed to be Farm King, but there's no luck skill. Of all the useless trivia floating around in my brain, well, one down for Therm. One more of those incorrect, and I'm guaranteed not to be facing HABoo in elimination. Very interesting.
Which of the following can be obtained from the Crane game in the movie theater? Is it Omni Geode, Golden Pumpkin, Large Junimo Plush, or Warp Totem Beach?
Oh, come on. He gets a multiple choice. So even if he has no idea, he still has a 1 in 4 chance of getting it. And with HABoo's luck recently, that's more like a 7 in 8.
So I've honestly only played the Crane game a few times, but I do know that you can get furniture from it.
Large Junimo plush.
That is incorrect. Only the small Junimo plushes can be gotten from the Crane game. The large Junimo plush can only be gotten from the secret note. It is Omni Geode.
Yeah, I really should have known that it was a trick question just based off of it was the only furniture item on the list. I should know where I get that item, but kind of a lapse of judgment from a knee-jerk reaction. I heard furniture and I guessed furniture. I did not even know that you could get geodes from that Crane machine.
This is such a mean trick question. People specifically go to the Crane game to get the Junimo plushes, but the large plush is the one that you can find in the bush at the end of the month. Only the small plushes are available in the Crane game.
So that's good. We're tied. We're still tied, even after I slipped up on the skills question. And now it's pretty much sudden death. David versus Goliath. A tale as old as... Well, I guess since we both are still in out of 4, we're both pretty good. Goliath versus Goliath. A tale as old as... I don't want to call myself Goliath. That seems cocky. Thomas versus Bobby. A tale as old as time. Who will come out on top? I don't freaking know. Keep watching, idiot.
What fishing level is required to catch the angler?
All right, I gotta get this right to put pressure on HABoo here. I have an idea. For some reason, the number 4 is kind of sticking out in my head. I know it's around that ballpark. It's not very high. The angler is the easiest legendary fish to catch, and my gut is telling me 4. But I could also see it being 5 or 3, or even 2, honestly. It's somewhere in that range.
Oh, come on, Therm.
Shut up!
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I am kind of a mainstay of the number 4. And also, it just kind of felt right when you said the question. I just kind of had a feeling in my noggin. Up there, real far up there in the back. So I'm going to go with 4.
Your noggin was wrong. It is 3.
That's fine.
Very close, but it is
Go get him next
3.
time, noggin.
So HABoo, if you get this right, you will win. If you do not get it right, we will continue.
Okay. All right, that stings. But it's okay. It's okay. It's not over. HABoo can still get his wrong.
Name 4 things you can get from the concession stand.
I don't really have much on this one. Off the top of my head, I know black licorice and there's some sort of popcorn. I don't even know what it's called. And there's like magic rock candy ripoff, but I honestly have no idea what their names are. And I just sat there for a long time just pondering until Z kind of just said, yeah, time's up, bud.
I will accept I don't know as an answer.
Yeah, I don't know. Just get me out. Get me out.
All right, tough. You're pretty close. Black licorice is one. Particularly, it's called Joja Corn. And there is rock candy.
Is it just called rock candy?
Just rock candy. HABoo is incorrect, so we are continuing.
Sadly, I kind of blew my opportunity to end it there, but
still get another round, so we're fine. We're fine.
Yes. Oh my God. The stars have aligned and we have sudden death. Thomas versus Bobby rages on.
Therm,
Yeah.
how many total professions are there?
So let's see. When you hit level 5, you have 2. When you hit level 10, you get 2 more, but for each path, which means that's 6 total for that skill. There are 5 skills, which means there should be 30. There should be 30. I don't want to second guess myself, so I'm just going to go ahead and say 30.
That is correct. HabooO, what is the name of the buff that you get after you drink a beer?
It's not tipsy. It's you get nauseous from the ghost. The slime is slow. Is that tipsy? There's no other name. It's tipsy, isn't it?
That is correct. It is tipsy.
Oh my God. How long is this gonna go? God, it's so hard to keep up with HabooO. He's so knowledgeable. Like, I'm doing it somehow. This is really exciting for me. I'm actually, regardless of whether or not I win at this point, I'm really proud of myself for making it this far.
Therm,
Yes.
how many key gems do you get for completing the quest Keys Crop?
Oh. I'm pretty sure it's 100, but I'm gonna give it some more thought. I've only gotten this far in the game one time, and I never actually finished any of the quests, but I did see some of them. And I'm pretty sure this is the one where I was like, oh, that's the big kahuna one that's worth 100. Oh, but it also could be like 50. I think I'm gonna say 100.
That is correct.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
HabooO, how many key gems do you get for completing Keys Hungry Challenge, which is reach level 100 of the Skull Cavern without eating any food?
Okay, I feel kind of bad because this one seems like leagues harder than mine. Like, I've never even heard of this one. I didn't even know this challenge existed, so I have no prayer. If HabooO gets this one, he has absolutely earned it. 'Cause mine was way easier.
I got a question wrong on your Kahoot Z a while back, and I immediately after getting it wrong looked up all the quests and kind of just like have them to memory at this point. The Skull Cavern Invasion is 40. The Danger in the Deep is 50. The Cuisine is 25. I think it's the same as the Cuisine one. I think it's 25.
That is correct. Guys, we are going to be moving on to a tiebreaker since you're both so freaking cracked at Stardew Valley.
Woo!
The question now is going to be a number-based question, and whoever gets closer to the actual number, doesn't matter if you go over, is the winner. If you fill the community center with Joja-Cola machines, how many Joja-Cola machines can you fit?
Excuse me. Okay.
I do not know. We're going to go to the community center after this, and I'm going to spawn in a bunch of Joja-Cola machines.
We're
and
gonna
count.
actually fill them in.
Yes, I don't actually know, so we're gonna have to do this after.
How many Joja machines can you fit in the community center? Oh yeah, let me just look it up on the wiki. Oh yeah, I know the answer to that question. What even is this question?
So I guess we're filling up the community center with Joja-Cola machines. Therm and HabooO need to guess how many are going to fit. Whoever guesses the closest number wins. And there's no Price is Right crap here because they are not going to say their answer out loud. They have to send those answers to Z, and whoever is the closest, going over is fine, wins. That's it. The community center is huge, like way bigger than people think. This is so nerve-wracking. I have never felt as frequently sick while hanging out with friends as I do in this stupid series.
As much as I do community center on my stream for speedruns, I really couldn't think of a good answer right off the bat. I don't know how many tiles this place has. Like, I don't think it's that big, but it could be big. Honestly, I'm just gonna compare it to the quarry. The quarry has like 370 keg spots, optimal placement. And there's no way the community center is like just as big, if not bigger than the quarry, right? The quarry's massive.
All right, so we've entered a tiebreaker. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna think it out. I'm gonna imagine my character, what my character would look like proportionally standing in each individual room, make an estimate, write that down, and then add them all up and have a guess. And we'll see where it goes.
I gave Z my answer and then immediately started walking to the community center because Z was actually
on the spot placing it on the Joja cola machines because he had no idea. And when I walked into the community center, I forgot how big this place was. Like, my jaw kind of hit the floor. I'm like, yeah, there's like 450 spots, maybe 500 spots in here. And really gotta hope Therm lowballed his answer because I'm nowhere close.
Oh my god, I went way under, didn't I? You don't remember how big the community center is until you're actually in it. This thing is huge, dude. So we already know at this point, when Z reads our guesses out loud, whoever has the higher number probably has the dub. So at this point, I'm just hoping that I have the higher number, because that's all I can do is just sit here and hope.
All right, we've got our final tally. I'm gonna look at what you guys have submitted now.
God, we're gonna be so low.
I'm definitely way low.
Haboo's guess was 325, and Therm's guess was 480,
Oh God, you are very high.
and a grand total of 584 Joja Cola machines. So Therm
God.
is the winner of the Golden Mask.
Wow.
Congratulations, Therm. You are the winner of this week's Golden Mask. Everyone else, it's time to vote. Talk with each other, then head to the summit.
It sucks that I guessed that low, but you know, better guesser wins. I used my luck earlier. Anyways, I guess it's time for plan B.
The mask is on. I told you, I gotta be more confident in myself. I did it. I won a challenge. So at this point, I've won like 3 or 4 challenges. I'm crushing it. I'm feeling really good. This is definitely the most important golden mask that we've had thus far. So I am over the moon that I won it, because I am now guaranteeing myself a spot in the final 3.
Yes, Therm, you did this. You killed it, man. I knew you could. I always believed in you this whole time. Against all odds, against the king of Stardew, you pulled it out. That's why you don't mess with Team Seanie Dew, baby. Back off, boo. I'm gonna make you very blue, baby.
Therm wins the Golden Mask. The crowd goes wild. Johnny is busy writing his wedding vows over in the corner, but for me, I couldn't care less. This means I could face HaBoo, technically, but I have a feeling I'll be facing Seanie Dew here.
So me and Leap kind of planned that if we both lost and Seanie also lost, that we wouldn't be sending me into the elimination for once. We would be sending Seanie because Therm couldn't vote anymore. So we actually had the numbers advantage over Seanie. Leap was kind of done with their alliance because he was kind of in the same boat as me. Even if he wins versus me in the elimination, he still has to go up against a 2v1 duo of Seanie and Therm. So his best bet is to get me to vote with him, so he has the chance of getting either Seanie or Therm out, so there's no power difference between everybody.
Right after we get dismissed, we get on the phone with Leap. The only way for me to not possibly go home here is for Therm to tell both of us to vote for HaBoo and then say he's going to do a coin flip between me and Leap. I messaged Therm to say this at least 1,000 times, and I keep messaging him all throughout our call, but he never says it. He doesn't say anything to Leap. He won't say the lie that I'm telling him to say to Leap. Why? Why are you not listening to me, Therm? This is our only way out. Otherwise, Leap is just gonna betray us.
I had a feeling Seanie was going to get the most votes, because at this point, Leap's teammate is gone, so in his eyes, voting with HaBoo and splitting Seanie and I apart is his only realistic path to victory. And honestly, part of me is kind of okay with that. I've been having a really intense internal struggle about how to feel about Seanie, since I'm worried he might be a bad influence in this competition, but we spent the entirety of this competition working together and having a great time as buds. I feel like the best way to solve this conflict is for him to be sent into the elimination challenge. That way, if he wins, he's earned my trust, someone else gets eliminated, and I cry into my keyboard for half an hour. If he loses and is sent home, then I cry into my keyboard for half an hour.
Johnny's gonna vote for HaBoo here. He expects me to do the same. He even asked me in the Super Secret Alliance Discord group, and Therm said they'll carry on in my honor, like I'm some kind of sacrifice to keep the volcano from erupting for one more episode. Well, guess what? I may have lost the challenge, but the elimination isn't over yet. Don't write me off like that. HaBoo asked if I wanted to go to the final 3. He said, let's vote for Seanie, and they'll place Haboo and Seanie against each other. But that's not what's going to happen. If Seanie is in elimination, Therm is going to put him up against me. They're scared. They'd rather face me than Haboo. Ab and I will vote for Seanie.
Everyone has voted. Let's see how it turned out. By a vote of 2-1, Seanie Dew will be in the elimination. Therm, as winner of the Golden Mask, it's time to choose who you want to go up against your former partner in the elimination.
I have to be very delicate here. While I could send Haboo in and have a greater chance at eliminating Seanie, first of all, I don't necessarily want to eliminate Seanie, and also sending Haboo in there would signal to Seanie that I am completely against him, which is also not true. And then in the chance that he wins against Haboo, I've made an enemy. And having an alliance is the most important part of this competition when there are this few people left. So I think the best strategic move would be to send in Leapalot, and then whoever wins, that's the person who I hope to become friends with in the final 3 to hopefully take down Haboo.
You want to put me in against him, Therm?
I'm thinking
Do you
about
want the chance of Seanie
I'm
being
thinking
out?
about it! Honestly, I was fully gearing up to send in Haboo here. But I have a few things to say. Number 1, do you remember in the Battle Royale challenge when I made a little gate and I was so proud of my little gate and I put it on the ground and you destroyed it immediately with your axe?
I do remember that.
I didn't forget that, Leapalot. Number 2, I thought we were pals for life. Seanie is also my pal for life, and you have targeted one of my pals for said life on this day, and that is an offense that I just cannot excuse. So I will be sending Leapalot into the elimination challenge.
Therm, goodness, that was a speech. I don't feel good about this. I don't like any of this, but here we are. I'm not going down without a fight, and that means Therm has put me into elimination with Sean.
Is this what it feels like to be backstabbed by your friends? Arlie, Rook, Nooblit, Matt, Brandigan. Is this how they felt to be in the seat that I'm in now? I knew it was coming, and it still hurt. But despite it all, can't help but respect Leapalot for what he did. Snakes respect snakes. Good job, Leap. But now, I get to finish you myself.
And so it will be Seanie Dew and Leapalot. The winner of this elimination will be in the finale, and the loser will be eliminated. Today, you'll be playing... Actually, I don't know. I don't know what you'll be playing. Because it's not up to me. Therm, as winner of this week's Golden Mask, you will be allowed to choose the elimination challenge out of any of the ones we've done up until this point. As a reminder, here are your options. Star-Crossed Star Drops, Remote Play, the Scrambled Scramble, Friendless Mode, Jacked Up, Drive-By, or the Pirate's Projectiles. What do you choose?
So I wield a lot of power here. I thought about this for a while, and then the answer just came to me. Last week, Seanie eliminated a friend of mine, and probably yours, Matt McCleskey, in the Drive-By Challenge. After the heartbreak I felt watching 2 good friends fight for survival, I figure it's poetic to return there where Seanie can wrestle with his demons. I'm not proud of what I did by voting for you last week, Matt. So all I can do now is help you get vengeance for your elimination. Seanie will return to the battlefield where he struck you down. And Leapalot, he'll be there too.
Seanie and Leapalot will be facing off against each other in Drive-By.
Therm has made his choice. Today, you'll be playing in Drive-By. The rules are the same as last time. You'll each be given a slingshot with full ammo, and your goal is to be the first person to pelt 10 different villagers with it. You can go in any order, and it can be any 10 villagers that you want. You'll also be given 10 fences that you can put down anywhere, but you will not be allowed to break them, so be careful not to get trapped. As soon as someone hits their 10th villager, they are the winner, and the other person will be eliminated from the Stardew Valley trials. Good luck.
Why, thank you, Therm. Returning to the one elimination challenge that I've won before fills me with an insane amount of confidence. But despite it all seeming to be in my favor, I'm nervous. I can't help but feel incredibly uneasy. Can I pull it out again? The scariest part about this challenge is that we were given fences, but no way to break them. No axe, no bombs. So you can be locked out of the challenge altogether if you're not careful. Go inside one building and then have fences placed around the entrance and you're screwed. This made me really nervous. I can't get trapped inside.
This is a very exciting moment for me in the elimination challenge, in that this is the first time I am truly just watching as a neutral spectator. I am not rooting for one side over the other. I'm merely just waiting to see the outcome. Because whoever wins in this matchup, I want to be buds with them. Because I want to be buds with both of them, but they can't both move on.
I am a little disappointed that I didn't get to 1v1 Seanie, but hey, I was gifted a free pass to the final 3. I'll gladly take it, even if it ends up in a 2v1.
We're doing drive-by, huh? Makes sense that Therm would pick this one. I listened pretty carefully to what they were saying, but obviously Seanie has already played through it. TheHaboo helped me with some quick strats too, so we'll just have to see if it's enough. One saving grace though is that we're not playing on the exact same day that Seanie and McCleskey played on. He can't just take his route from last time. He'll have to think about it. I haven't been in an elimination. I've never had to win or go home. It's time to put everything on the line and take Seanie out of this competition.
Go.
Cutscene. Oh, he got me. Good pick, Therm.
Thank you.
That sucks.
It's over. Damn it. Yep, it's over.
Scene. I don't know what I'm at. Is anybody counting for me?
You're at 8. You're at 8. Shawnee's at 6.
It's over for me.
Yeah, that's it.
That is game over.
Hey, Sean. Sorry I voted for you. It was my only way in.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Congratulations, Leapalot. You have won the elimination and have secured your spot in the final 3. Seanie, unfortunately, your time in the trials has finally come to an end. We're sad to see you go.
I choked. I had every reason to win, but I think in that moment, all the weight of all my alliances caught up to me at once. All the people I betrayed, all the friends I lost. I crumbled under the pressure. I was too nervous to think. I feel like a fool. But you know, this is what I deserve. Do I regret what I did? No. I know that I'm no good at Stardew. And damn, if it wasn't fun to rig this entire show. Love or hate the snake, at least I kept things interesting. And to the people I betrayed, I'm sorry. Sorry that you guys f***ing suck. Fools, all of you. Shawnee's chaos reigns. But really, I'm actually sorry. I actually just did it all for content. Now, Therm, go out there and win this one for us. Snaky Dew, out.
My partner in crime, my best friend in this competition, is gone for good. And I feel nothing. If you'd have told me at the start of this that Shawnee's elimination wouldn't put me in tears, I never would have believed you. But here we are. It's really sad it's gotten to this point, but Shawnee's reckless alliance making and clumsily woven web of lies and betrayal were just too much for me to witness. I am truly on my own now, and I'm ready for it. This week has shown me that I was fooling myself this whole time by constantly considering myself the weakest player, and only here for comedic relief and eventual death fodder. I can beat anyone. I can beat HabooO. I'm a perfectly capable Stardew Valley player, and it's time to show what I can do.
Honestly, I'm just happy that I'm still in the game. I'm proud of Leap for taking out Seanie. He took down the Puppet Master. And honestly, now that the snake problem is gone, I don't really have any ill wills versus the remaining players. Honestly, I'm just down for a better man wins at this point.
I'm glad I won. Glad to still be here, but it doesn't feel like winning to me. Maybe I'm just not the cutthroat type of player. These are people I respect. Friends that mean more to me than any competition. I didn't want to see anyone lose today, but we knew what we signed up for. I need to think seriously about what I'm going to do next week. All I know is that the mask is going to be more important than ever before.
HabooO, Leapalot, and Therm. You are the final 3 competitors of the Stardew Valley trials. Normally at this point, we'd be done for the week, but our next challenge might actually take a while, and so I think it's best if we started right now. This challenge doesn't test who the most mechanical player is, or who knows the most about the game. This is simply about who wants it more. For the final golden mask of the season, you'll be playing the Marine Marathon. Each of you are going to hook a fish in the ocean. You will need to hold onto that fish longer than anybody else, meaning that you can't lose it, but you also can't catch it. You just need to keep your fish on the line. While this isn't a particularly hard thing to do, just one lapse of focus can knock you out. The last person that still has a fish on their hook is the winner of the final and most powerful golden mask of the season. Winning not only guarantees that you will be one of the final 2 people, but you alone will make the decision of who gets eliminated from the final 3 and who you want to join you in the end. Good luck, and I'll see you on the docks. So here are those t-shirts that I mentioned in the beginning of the episode. Em and I have been working really hard to come up with freaking sick designs that encapsulate the trials in the best way that we can, and in my opinion, we've got some fire options. Option 1 here has the Stardew Valley trials written across the front, and it's got a golden mask, the bus, and a bunch of other meaningful stuff worked into the design. Option 2 shows off the most iconic part of the series, the golden mask, and it says out mine, out farm, out mask on the sides. Option 3 is my personal favorite. It features the most iconic part of every individual episode, so you can see the spinning wheel from the star-crossed star drops, the Skull Cavern door, the statue of true perfection, Junimo cart, Calico Jack, darts, the trivia, and the fishing bar from the final challenge on it. Of course, we also have a shirt that just has the logo on it, which is a great option as well. You only have 3 weeks to pick one up before they are gone forever, so make sure that if you're interested, you hop on it. The link to the shop, as well as all of my other normal merch, is in the description, and if you've made it this far, I think it's safe to say that you enjoy the series, so I'd really appreciate if you considered buying one. Thank you all so much for the support on the series. I really can't say enough how happy I am with how it's turned out and how it has been received, and I will see you in the finale.